head coach Michael Malone, his team at the high water mark, 15 games over 500 for the first time this season at 46-31, and the jumper by Towns is good.
There's that touch we talked about.
Big first quarters. And he's off to another good start tonight with 5 quick points. Towns in the lane, lay it up and in. Towns is a big scorer. He averages 24. Morris in the lane, floats it, no, missed it.
So that's where you got to score in transition, because watch out.
And at the other end, Towns, and it's a timeout taken by Michael Malone, 48. Now Towns, who has the three-point range at 41%. Hit on Jokic, left hand. That's beautiful.
Beautiful running left-hand hook.
And Towns now has 10. Towns going to try it again. No, gives it over to Edwards. Remember, Edwards made 10 threes in a game earlier against the Nuggets, and Towns lights it up. Well, Karl-Anthony's had a wrist issue, wearing a brace on the right wrist. Now he's going to cover Edwards for a moment. Now Towns for 3. There, does this guy ever miss? Karl-Anthony Towns, you might remember he had 60, 43 Minnesota.
Tried to take it right in Joker and see if Towns gets his 4th foul.
Barton and Towns backs it off. Jokic right under the bucket, and Patrick Beverly, they are working on him furiously in the corner down by the Minnesota bench. Had some kind of hip issue. Towns hits the 3. Karl-Anthony Towns with a turnover. And they're down by 6. Towns. And Towns lays it up.
And they're switching with smaller guys, and I'm not sure what Aaron's doing. He's on Towns, and he just...
Outside, Beasley lets it go. That's off the mark. And once again, Vanderbilt is inside, and he just jumps over the top of the Nuggets for the offensive rebound.
But no one.
Nuggets actually outscored the T-Wolves in the third quarter, 29-28. So they finally won a quarter. Towns is back in, and he knocks in the 3. Karl-Anthony Towns dropped back by 11 again, and the pass thrown away. 3-on-1, Prince missed it. Towns followed, timeout Denver. Well, Nuggets just unable to execute
with it. Drop coverage for Minnesota in the first possession. Yucca Pirtle's an excellent roller as Towns going to his right hand. How many times have we seen him kiss that off the glass?
Especially since the All-Star break, he's below 25% since the break. Towns flushes, rises quickly for the dunk. Beverly feeds it for Towns. He's got his second dunk already.
Yeah, it's a nice thing when you can shoot them inside the restricted area and within 5 feet of the basket.
And Murray's already got 3 dimes. The top assist man in the NBA. Towns buries the 3. The Timberwolves are making the San Antonio Spurs. Timberwolves can get a 2-for-1 if they hurry. Towns draws the contact. Chance for an and 1. First scoring lead for the night. He's got 13 thus far. Towns sticks with it and finishes. And Cat's going to get teed up for San Antonio. And the Wolves catch a break. Towns gets paid off on the other end.
Thank goodness the ball kid got the heck out of the way. He was out there down elbow jumpers from all over the floor.
Edwards, no. Towns an offensive rebound. Back up and in. And Cat's got 20 in the game along with 8 boards now. Sells 5 of 8.
Carl's just not a rim protector classically, but he is an attacker.
Yes, he is.
You can't stop him.
Time on defense at shoot-around this morning. The defense has not been the strong suit so far here tonight. Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns attacks Pirtle and finishes.
So Carl doesn't lose his aggressiveness there.
Timberwolves get a stop. 11 turnovers tonight for San Antonio.
Let him have
Towns,
it.
the 3, drills it.
You've been giving him a steady diet of playing off the catch. He got a shot in the game yet. He's played 12 minutes.
Towns, nobody picks him up. And he'll take advantage
Karl backed out towards the three-point line. And
tonight is just ridiculous. 58% for San Antonio, 55% for Minnesota. Towns moves the Wolves shooting percentage north a little bit.
Towns is just...
Towns, who's done it all tonight. Pulls up in front of Collins and drills it. 46 for Cat. The Timberwolves franchise record.
Got into rotation, left the hot player open. Lonnie Walker has been really good in this game. He's 7 of 10.
Towns, he's got 49. Towns steps back, drills the triple, make it 54 in the game.
9 3-point attempts for Karl-Anthony Towns in this game. He's been averaging 3 a game in the month of March.
Towns making 32 in the quarter, and he's tied the franchise record. Towns shoots it again. That time he's got it. 60 for Karl-Anthony Towns.
Russell, Patrick Beverly, Jaden McDaniel.
His vote would actually go to Taylor Jenkins with the job that he has done with the Memphis Grizzlies. Timberwolves go on offense first, and Karl-Anthony Towns says you can take a seat. We've scored our first bucket.
It's possible to play good defense and get scored on.
That definitely will happen. Towns attacks and finishes.
Dallas really took the pain away from Karl-Anthony.
Get past this and get back to his job real soon. We wish him nothing but the best.
He's the comic relief in that trio between Mark Followill, Derek Harper, and Jeff Skin Wade, and he's also got
for 3 short.
Minnesota's lucky.
Towns finds an extra step and climbs the ladder for the flush.
Force them right and not left and not let them get to the step back, but somehow Lucas still gets there.
Towns inside, rattles it home.
Unbelievable finish by Towns. How did...
Towns. Oh! Cat feasting in the paint.
That was...
Losing skin. And Towns fires a 3, and he fills it up. Second 3 of the game for Towns. That gives him a 20 point. So both teams cold to start this game. Vanderbilt behind the back for Cat, and the Timberwolves score the first points tonight.
You may be seated.
Well, there are a lot of Lakers fans still here, though, because that was a loud cheer for King James. Towns draws the blocking foul, and I chatted with LeBron very briefly before the game tonight, Jim, and I just standing next to him, he is a huge man. Speaking of a mountain of a man, Karl-Anthony Towns.
Shoulder sort of movement towards the basket, and D'Lo acquiesced, no doubt. Wow, what a strong move, what a great block.
Towns with the first block tonight. And
marginal contact. Dwight Howard using his form to stop the progress of Karl-Anthony Towns.
That time Cat gets the whistle, flexes some muscle with the finish. Russell, the bounce pass for Cat.
Talk about threading the needle. I mean, that's...
Towns going at Gabriel.
He's got a lot of tension on him, but still scores over the top. He had 3 guys all over him. And I asked Karl about it. I said, did you actually do that? And he said, yes.
Well, Karl-Anthony Towns is playing like somebody who wants to get to the finals.
In the last couple of weeks.
Towns guides that one in. He's got another 30-point game.
Let's come away with Jared Vanderbilt and Karl-Anthony Towns. Anthony Edwards will miss tonight's game. And Cat opens with a 3. That's that pick and pop. Entire game.
And it's nice to see Andrew Wiggins get off to another good start.
Karl-Anthony Towns flipping it up and in. He's had 12 straight double-doubles against the Warriors.
That's the problem.
Russell loves that high screen. And he and Towns work it well, and Karl-Anthony Towns, left side, right side. He's doing everything.
They have a nicer man off the dribble or go ISO move, one-on-one move, get some separation like he just did.
Cat's got way deep position there, and that's when he's very difficult to stop.
I just said, with this smaller lineup.
Minnesota's dug in defensively with some of the reserves here. Karl-Anthony Towns on the deck again, and another finish. He has 15 here in the first.
Well, that pump fake from three-point.
Towns work on both ends.
You saw him because of the ball movement. There was just a gap in the defense.
Cat, that's his sweet spot. Feet set, head of the key three. The other end.
That's big time.
Staying in that zone. Karl-Anthony Towns, man, skill level's unbelievable.
Just that bump. He got 7.
Karl-Anthony Towns working on Looney. It's the skill, the length, the size, everything he does. I mean, he's just a remarkable.
There, use him, get into the paint, draw that next defender.
Yeah, it's not always threes all the time. Quarter layups work. Karl-Anthony Towns layups work too.
He slipped through the cracks there. Ripped it.
Again, switched on to Cat. The tornado move in the lane and the finish.
That spin move is so effective because even if you're there, they're still getting momentum to the
Go, and they need the bucket. He wants it himself. Final 5 seconds of the quarter. Driving and finishing.
wanted to walk.
One tonight from distance. Your odds were not that off. Karl-Anthony Towns, and he's fouled as he flips it up and in. He has had an incredible game.
Look at him pointing to his...
Off back iron and that soft shooter's roll. 35. Those be really tough losses to deal with all at home. You got to try to play your way out of it and also get the reinforcements as Cat hits the three. He's got 38.
It did get tightened up later on in the game.
Yeah, they
7-point game at the end, but
Towns right down Broadway eviscerates the rim. And
7 3-point makes for Anthony Edwards last ball game. 37 points in the ball game. Towns off to the races.
and finishes another fast break bucket for Minnesota. I feel like it's affected other areas of his game, which is the most important part. Beverly, no. Towns, yes.
Big offensive rebound there by Karl. Going over the top and scoring on play. You saw that coming. As soon as it went to the corner, you saw the lane there was wide open for him.
McLaughlin sets up Towns. So Cat with his first three.
4-7. He's got 0 of 6 since. Not been able to be reliable in the three-point shot. Gets that to go, though. He started P.J. Washington.
To a 10-point game.
It's just one of those things, too, when you start playing poorly offensively, it takes away from what you do defensively. The aggressiveness, Towns gets that to go. You're looking for a play in a lineup combination. Going with the starters is probably a good option.
Towns attacks and finishes. I mean, Jim, at some point this shooting percentage has to progress to the mean, doesn't it? It's to tie or go in front. Towns looking for the lead, and one finally goes down. Minnesota in front for the first time.
Forces the switch here.
Towns doesn't hesitate. Catch and shoot three is good.
23 in the game for Rozier.
Towns for three.
Yes.
Connects.
Big Cat.
Hornets felt like Bridges got fouled. They are letting them play. Towns thought about loading up another. Faked me out. Faked out the Hornet defense, and then he takes the two.
Game tonight, he's got DMP'd.
Towns fakes the three again. Goes inside, rattles one in. What a night for Cat.
A year ago, grew into the season and has become, again, a dynamic scorer in this league. One of the high flyers in the NBA as Karl-Anthony Towns ends up hitting the shot right there, but
D'Angelo Russell, he understands when you pick and roll with Karl-Anthony Towns. You got to pick your poison in that matchup.
And Towns spots up and knocks down the triple.
Yeah, Towns has excellent helpers all night long. So you got to, muck things up and get in the paint. So, you got to show two bodies.
Wood going up against the length of McDaniels, deflected last touch by Minnesota.
Don't let them get comfortable and sit back. And when you have prolific players on the offensive end, you got to make them play some defense.
Wood into the body of Towns. That will count, and he will toe the line here. Vanderbilt. Towns off the dribble. That's a 7-footer.
Listen, Karl-Anthony Towns has figured out just...
Martin broken up and stolen by Edwards. Edwards takes it himself. Tip try no, and Towns right place, right time. And another thing that Minnesota does very well, off teen and not even on the list is whatever they did from 1999 through 2005. Was not a fan of that stuff at all. And Towns with Wood and a hand in his face and all ends.
Yes, sir, Craig. Got to load up. Give Seawood some type of help here.
No! And one.
I mean,
that's his first missed shot, but it was a good one to take.
Yes, it was.
Towns back in, rumbles to the rim. There's just like a gaping hole in the middle of the Rockets defense. Playing a box around the paint. Vanderbilt. Wow. Lots of defensive pressure on Kevin Porter Jr. Throws the lava. Christopher misses.
That's got
to get back, and the Rockets don't. It's Edwards.
He's been really good getting downhill and no wasted motions in his drive.
Towns flat-footed three.
He's so good. He doesn't even jump. Wasn't perfect, but that's a great possession. You get a piece of the paint and you kick open to a wide open shooter.
Towns, another dunk and a whistle. So he has 28. He'll shoot baseline. Noel, the no-look dish, and on the other side, Towns with 30.
Really easy for there for Karl-Anthony to play some defense.
Towns posting and scoring.
Call not going to be made. Got to get up and play up. Better energy here from the Rockets. They're competing here in the second half.
Wood wrapped up, got it back, stuck with it, and scored. He's got 20. He's had himself a... Porter in trouble. Finds Wood, works baseline. Thought he got fouled. No whistle. Got to get back, though. Minnesota pushes. They've got...
They're working, and it's never going to be perfect. Great players find ways to score, but you got to make them work, and much better intensity here.
Towns. What a game he's had. He's got 35 now. That
got all the Wolves players off the bench.
Shot clock is off. Towns rolling, and Towns a new season high with 37.
Yeah, he's having his way.
Double figures. Now 7 in all with Tate. Now has 10 points. Towns, no. Got it back. Put it back up. In and one. And with a free throw,
Towns pulls the trigger quickly, gets a very friendly roll, and the Timberwolves possible defense coaches can draw up to try and slow down his orchestrating the pick and roll, and he'll figure it out pretty quick.
Karl-Anthony Towns cuts into the open void. That can shoot well, put your team in a real bind.
McDaniels being aggressive. Towns comes up with the offensive rebound and the second chance bucket. Unable to connect, and the Wolves come out of there with it. Towns in rhythm, and he connects.
It's a great shot that's bigger and athletic that can take on the roller. DeAndre Ayton is just feasting right now in pick and roll game.
The Suns are doubling up the Wolves in the paint, although Towns cuts into that margin a little bit there. He's broken some ankles in his career. Edwards, the dump off for Towns.
Finally, an easy basket for Karl-Anthony Towns here in this game against the Phoenix Suns. Both teams shooting 33% from the floor.
Towns!
knocking down the trip ball out of the timeout. The 10th three of the Chris Paul is fine taking those shots. Well, it's a layup for him.
And we've talked about it before. Nice pass by Edwards to Towns, and it will be a chance for the N1. Fourth time tonight. Towns is 32. Crowder, no.
Another offensive rebound.
Poked away, though. Edwards was the one who got a hand on it. Credit McDaniels for making him take a tough shot. Towns, that is a deep three, and it is a good three. And the Timberwolves gives it into Russell. Towns, another triple for Towns, who's got a 35-point night, a new season.
A tweak in the substitution pattern. Giannis had been coming out right at the 6-minute mark. You want to keep either Chris or Giannis on the floor at all times. This time it's Chris that comes out early.
It's a first shot, first points, first butt.
Ladder the nasty and throw it down. And, you know, you never know how many consistent minutes he's going to get. You better do a better job defending Karl-Anthony Towns if he wants to stay out there. But
Bucks in the bonus in the final 122 left to play. They've trailed this entire first quarter after this start, and Towns, the thunderous dunk and one.
The Bucks talked about, you know, his tendency or his ability to throw it down makes you have to jump early to cover the cup.
Towns for three. 14 put something down as Giannis went out of the game. Chris stays into this game.
That was McDaniels, that perimeter defense against Chris.
Finds Pat. Not there. For the shoot, Laura well off the mark. Thanasis is battling for it. Here's Edwards. Out to Towns, that's trouble. Final few seconds here of this first half. Thanasis taking it all the way. Towns with the block. And that is how the first half will end. And another offensive rebound here for the Wolves. How did he find Towns on that? A brilliant pass by Pat Beverly.
Got it to him right before he hit the ground.
The free throw line, in case you were wondering.
He is so skilled.
He pulls up from mid-range.
So skilled.
He can hit almost every shot.
All three.
On the push, got it taken away. Beverly on Towns. Giannis nearly got him.
Out in transition.
And Chris are the next ones up with 8 points each. Yeah, I had to look at that twice as Towns gets another bucket.
That's a good play, Carl.